Hello everyone, this is Gura, also known as Kana. Welcome to the second game of the aKaTL. We'll start off by introducing the winner of our last match, aKaSteezeee, spawning up in the top right corner, and his opponent, aKaFinale, in the bottom left. Last game, Steezee was able to take down Finale with relative ease. I feel like it wasn't so much humiliating as it was just he went Dark Templar. As I said in the last cast, Dark Templar either work swimmingly or they don't work at all and you lose horribly, which is what ended up happening last game. So I'm anxious to see what Finale is deciding to follow it up with. I'm going to assume that Steezee is going to follow it up with his normal style. Get a bunch of units out, then expand when he feels super safe. But here's aKaFinale going his normal style. Last game, I was like, what? He didn't Forge Fast Expand? And this game looks like he's going to do just that. Either Forge or Gateway Fast Expand, most likely Forge. And yeah, we'll see how it pans out. Steezee's going to open up fairly normal, throwing down that Gateway. Most likely going to see it in a simulator fairly soon. Finale's decided to throw down his Forge before Nexus, so he can get that cannon down a little bit faster to feel feel safer. There's a few different ways that you can do the Forge Fast Expand, and we'll see which way he decides to go. Now last game Steezee had a higher probe count just from the start because of better chrono boost. Looks like they're about even. Finale decided to fix that this game, but interestingly enough, looks like Finale's opting to throw down the Gateway before a cannon or a Nexus. If he really wants that economic advantage to stack more, he needs to throw down that Nexus like now-ish time, or he needs, well, he shouldn't cancel the Gateway at this point, but he needs to throw down a cannon and then expand, or Nexus and then cannon right now. He should not have made this Gateway right then. I mean, I'm not sure. And last game, someone in the chat mentioned how interesting to see a two Zealot opener from in PvP, and I would tend to agree with that point. Last time I told you to ignore the chat, and yeah, do that again this match. But yeah, looks like he's gonna throw down the Nexus before his cannon. And where is the cannon? Do it now. Do it. Looks like he's opting to actually go for that Zealot first, and there's the cannon. Oh no, that's a pylon. Yeah, this is a good place for a cannon. I would actually prefer it to be more about right here. That would be a better spot for that cannon, to be honest. And yeah, that's a good place for the pylon. No complaints there. But yeah, this double Zealot opening that Steezee's done this game and the last game, I would say that I don't like it because if Finale were to open up with a Stalker and come to Steezee's front base, he could kite these Zealots and kill them both before Steezee was able to get that Stalker out. Even 3 Zealots popping out. So all it would take was 2 Stalkers to kill all these Zealots and then come in and take out pylons or probes, whatever he decided to do. And looks like 7 X score coming down before the Nexus is even done. And it seems like this game, Finale's been not skipping probes, but just kind of a little bit to slip in his macro. And that's been known to happen. That's something that, I mean, there's that one thing that everybody needs to work on in their play. Like, for me, it's I miss Overlord timings and get supply blocked all the time. For Finale, it's the probes. For Steezee, it's more the micro side of things. Like, his macro's great. Like, always making probes, always chrono boosting, never having energy on his Nexus get too high, except for right now when I contradict myself. But yeah, I mean, and we're all teammates, so we know what to how to exploit each other's weaknesses. But there are people in the aKaTL that are not a part of our team. MJ Shorty, he's been popping up in chat a lot, and Zolotl. Also, Wada Polo is another person in the aKaTL that is not a part of our team. And oh, I mentioned that I'm also known as Kano, and Kano is kind of my new gamer tag for Team aKa. I will still go by Gura this tournament and when I'm casting, because, I mean, I've changed my gamer tag so many times. First, it was Tovakin when, way back when I started my YouTube channel, and then I'm like, oh, Gura sounds better, and now I say, oh, aKa Kano sounds better. But I kind of like the fact that I'm sticking with Gura because I can say I'm Gura, also known as Kano, because aKa also known as. Anyways, I agree, NJ Shorty. This PvP is hilarious, but yeah, it looks like the expansion from SteezEee is gonna come down pretty late. A little bit of slip, not making probes right now, but that's okay. I mean, even if you're telling yourself, oh, my main's totally saturated right now, which let's see if it is. Yes, actually, it's completely saturated, because you need to have 3 probes per mineral patch, and the one way to tell is to box all of your probes, and you need to have 2 lines like you see here, and it looks like I missed one in the boxing, and then 2. There was one before, I must have missed the box, but there it is. Yeah, 2 rows and then 2. Idle drones. This is a PvP. Oh well. He will learn. Looks like the warp prism going to be coming out for aKaSteezeee. Going to be able to do that economy damage before, and the 3rd base coming down from Finale. This is playing kind of greedy because he knows that SteezEee has units, because hopefully he's been scouting this game, and he knows that the natural was quite late, and so he knows that he's going to have a greater unit count than he does. Wow, that's a lot of zealots coming out. Hopefully he's going to be getting charged soon, as his nope, no Twilight Council just yet, but looks like, did I see a warp prism? Yeah. So double warp prism action coming out from both of these players. Warp prism, the warp prism is another thing that Finale does quite a lot in this play. Normally mixing all the styles, forge fast expanding, then getting DTs, putting them in a warp prism, and then going for the win. Which is, we've kind of seen so far all of that kind of spread apart. Last game he DT'd, this time he forged fast expanded and is using the warp prism like he does so often. A bunch more warp gates coming out from SteezEee, which is exactly what needs to happen when you get your natural up and running. And once this 3rd base is up and running, I would imagine the Finale is going to throw down a bunch more gateways and start teching up, hopefully. But, oh wow, doing tons of probe kills. Wow, that's insane how many probe kills he's got. Let's see. 12 probe kills so far. How many more is he going to get? Get that one. It's so low. Focus it down. Nope. Could have done a lot more damage, but looks like only 12 probe kills. Well, not only. I mean, 12 probe kills this game so far. And Steezeee's had this warp prism sitting here for quite a while. It hasn't really done anything with it just yet, but we'll see what Finale says after this, what he decides to do. And looks like it's going to be to throw down a lot more gateways once this pylon finishes. But he really needs to get this 3rd base saturated. He needs to transfer some from his main. Oh, looks like he's got 4 idols, or 4 or 5 idols right there. That's unfortunate. Is this a bad rally point? It is a bad rally point, fellows. Awesome. Another idle one. About 6 idle probes. That's always great. Looks like he's going to try to poke in here again with these warp prisms, but SteezEe's he's prepared for it. Maybe even possibly going to throw down a cannon to defend against that in the future. But he's got stalkers in great positions, and looks like SteezEe's warp prism harass is going to come out. Didn't opt to go for the mineral line. Tried to hope that there was nothing here to see his drop, but it looks like there was, and he's just going to be battling Finale's army right here. Looks like he's going to be able to clean up his army and take out pylons. That's what he needs to focus down right now, because he's already here. To focus down the pylons so he can't warp in any more guys. I mean, if he takes down all these warp prisms, he's only going to have 2 potential warp gates to reinforce with. And these ones aren't even done yet. So that's awesome. And now that the gateways are empowered, don't kill the gateways. Go and kill probes. There's so many probes right here. He can even snipe these idle probes, because that's a good thing to do. It looks like he's just going to try to kill his army. But probes are being pulled off the line once again. just like last game. Let's see how this turns out. If the GG comes down, or once he cleans this up, he's just gonna have this. Hopefully, he focuses down the warp prison with these stalkers, but looks like that's what he's gonna do. Just gonna let his probes kill the stalkers. Whatever. Excellent. That warp prison needed to be focused down a lot earlier, so that the stalkers that were warped into reinforce wouldn't have actually been allowed to warp in. But how many probe kills? At what cost was this held off? 18 and 12 this game. That's you know, Steezee's now ahead in the harass theoretically, but Finale does have this third base, and he has 3 Nexus, 3 Nexus, whatever. 2 Chrono Boost probes out, which is what it looks like he's doing now. A lot of energy on his natural. Nexus needs to use that. And last game we didn't see hardly any sentries last game, and I feel like force fields would have helped Finale a lot. No, Steezee a lot, but sentries is just a must. You must have sentries for Guardian Shield, sentries for force fields, and they're just so important. Steezee also needs to get this gas going. If he's hoping to get the tech that he's going for, like this double forge, he needs more gas for it. If he's gonna want to get Colossi out or anything, but it looks like Hallucination gonna be coming out for Finale. And that's something that's very underused by everybody. And I've watched him do great things with Sentry Hallucination, and we'll see how it pans out this game. But this observer placement, I don't know if I really like it. I think this observer needs to be more like here in this general area, because he could see units going down to the third base to defend. He could see units going out of the natural to go attack or just move. And that way he knows when if he's looking at the minimap, he knows, okay, I know that there's a lot of units down at the third base. And even moving this observer around to see what he's got in his main, see how many gateways he's got, see what he's teching to do. But it looks like Steezee's gonna, he's getting his Twilight Council, his Robotics Bay, finishing up on some of those upgrades. He's got a few Immortals out in the Sentries, with quite a good mix of Zealots and Stalkers. I would think he's gonna get Blink once this Twilight Council finishes, because he does have quite a few more Stalkers, but another Observer popping out. That's gonna be good. Hopefully he puts it like somewhere in this general area. But looks like Finale's gonna be warping in a lot more Zealots, and he's not producing anything right now. He needs to be producing probes, because this needs to be saturated right now. He does have an observer going to be scouting out Steezee's army, just to maybe he's waiting to see what his army's like, so he knows that. Oh, you better believe that his APM is 104 average, because he's just cool. Anyways, Blink going to be coming out from Steezee, and what else? He's going to get Colossus in just a few, chrono boosting out that Blink, because that's what you need to do. He needs to start extended Thermal Lance so he can get those Colossi out, and maybe to get more upgrades, but he would be able to if he had the gas. Let's look at the income tab. Looks like Finale's got the greater mineral income, and Steezee's got better gas. He just needs these other gas geysers if he wants to actually tech. There's that first Colossus going to be coming out in just a few, and plus, what is this? +2 weapons being researched. No, Easton, what? I haven't been paying attention to chat. Whatever. Did he say earlier? I didn't catch it. I think earlier he said something about, is this going to be going up on YouTube? And you know what? Yes. Yes, it is. Anyways, going back to the game. Looks like a little bit, no tech coming out from Finale. He's on 3 bases. How many warp gates does he have? He's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, around 7, 8, 9 warp gates coming out. Cool, 9 or 10 warp gates. Gonna be taking out these rocks so that he has a greater, it opens up a great path for retreat, and helps you get to their base faster if you decide to attack again. But I don't know what Finale's gonna do when he sees this Colossus. I would just retreat as soon as I see it, because you're like, oh, wait, I only have +1 weapons, +2's almost done against 1/1, soon to be 2/2 weapons and armor. Oh, whoops. And let's see. Looks like he's made a few more probes, but still huge slips in his macro. Double sentry harass for the win. Actually, no, these sentries need to be in this army for a guardian shield and a few force fields. Oh, maybe to, because he knows his army is superior if he was to force field this ramp, trap his whole army. And this game has gone on quite long already. With I'm excited to see how much longer it goes on. I actually didn't really watch this game as it was live. I think I tried to cast it live, but I didn't do a very good job. I was busy with other things, but oh man. Yes, these hallucinated colossi are good generally, but the thing is, Steezee saw his army before he hallucinated him, so he's not even going to try to focus him down. The only damage those hallucinated colossi took is the splash damage from this colossus. He knew, oh, he had a few sentries in his army and he hallucinated because I saw him hallucinate. So yeah, this colossus getting dangerously low, needs to focus it down, but it doesn't look like he's going to. This colossus is going to tear those zealots to shreds. Wow, he needed to focus down that immortal and that colossi, and Steezee decides to kind of fall back, get some more tech, getting charge right now. Hopefully going to be throwing down a few more gateways because his third base is it saturated? It's almost saturated. He needs to get these gas geysers up and running though. Let's take another look at the income tab. Looks like Finale's still having a little bit of a lead in the mineral count, but Steezee's way ahead in gas, and that is the most important part of PvP, is who has the greater gas. Finale doesn't even have gas geysers on his third base, and he's not even mining out of either of his natural. He's just relying on the ones in his main, which is not okay. That is not good. And his main base isn't even saturated right now, and I think at this stage, Finale could still win if he threw down his fourth base and started teching right this very second, because he did enough damage to Steezee's army for Steezee to say, okay, I can't attack quite yet because I don't want to lose this army. I have this Colossus and this Immortal at home ready to defend. He might even want to put this Colossus up on this ledge because it's so low it'd be focused down immediately. But Finale just going to stick with a mainly zealot-heavy army. Steezee's going to look to be getting 3-3 here in a minute. Are they both researching 3-3? Yes, they are. Well, no. Finale's actually just researching 3 weapons and charge. But does Steezee have charge yet? Yes, he does. He has charge and blink, way ahead in tech. Even a dark shrine. Did I see that dark? Did I see a dark shrine? Oh, looks like he canceled it for some reason. Gonna be throwing the Templar archives down again because he knows he has the greater gas income, so he can afford to get those Templar. And the thing with going, he's most likely going to be getting Archons out of this because there's really, if he decides to storm this army, it's mostly zealots, and by storming the zealots, he's going to be storming his own army too. But I like the Templar choice above the DT choice this game because the Dark Templar, if you can't morph them into Archons, I mean, one observer or just a little bit of detection makes them void and useless. But it looks like Finale's going to see this army and say, whoops, go home right now. Do not engage. Do not engage. Go. Run away. Wait for reinforcements. Go home. Nope, doesn't look like that's going to happen. This is 2 Colossus. 2 Colossus are going to be tearing this army to shreds. Just playing with his food right now. Just morphing in pure zealot. Looks like his upgrades are at 2 attack, 3 attack right now. Awesome. Another Warp Prism coming out from Steezee, but nothing on the production tab. Doesn't matter if you're on third base. Well, if you, how many probes does Steezee have? Not enough. So it's not a good time to say, okay, I'm done with probe production. He does. Neither of them have enough to say, no more probes. But it looks like third base from Finale is going to meet its demise. He needs to pull these probes right this very second. Looks like he does. But Steezee with a nice blink forward catches quite a few probes. How many workers killed? 26. Steezee's killed 26. That's a good number. But I mean, Finale is just looking to be in a bad position. His natural's almost mined out. His main still is pretty much mined out. Will be mined out as soon as he transfers probes there. But Finale's going to be relying on only zealots to clean up this army, and there's still a Colossus roasting away. He needs to take these zealots that are focusing down the Immortal. But I like this protective blink, blinking right on top of that Colossi to protect it from the zealots as long as he can. I like that choice of micro. But blinking these stalkers forward preemptively, gonna have him get a nice surround on the stalkers with the zealots. And looks like Finale is actually gonna be able to clean up this army. But at what cost? I mean, he lost his third. He had to sacrifice his third to buy himself enough time, and he needs to start his third and a fourth base, either up here or right over here, and just put his whole army there, because that's the only way he can catch up now, even with no tech. But another Colossus is going to be popping out for Steezee. He's rebuilding his Stalker army. His third base is all nicely saturated. He needs to throw down a fourth, though. I would probably throw it down right here, because this attack path in the middle has been opened up. So now Finale's thinking, whenever I attack, I'm going to go here, because that's the fastest way. But looks like he's going to be hopefully taking these zealots down to his third base to defend, because that's where Steezee's most likely to attack again. But yeah, it looks like he's going to throw down his fourth base right there, which is, you know, it's an okay choice. I like that choice. It's a little bit, it's almost, I'm not really sure whose base it's more Steezee's base, but I don't like, it's a little bit too open. I would prefer this base right here, because unless Finale scouts it, you would expect it to be here or expect it to be here. I don't know whose base that is. Stupid. Anyways, a ton of warp gates for Finale. He's going to be able to, that's the reason he held off that last attack, is because he had a bunch of warp gates to warp in all the zealots when he needed them. Doesn't look like Steezee's quite matched his warp gate count. It needs to make a lot more warp gates right now. But he is going to be researching Storm, and looks like he's not going to be using him for Archons just yet. Cool. Looks like Finale's still in that position of, oh, I have no economy, so I can't make any units. Let's get that economy up and going. Warp Prism has been idle for quite a few minutes from Steezee. Fourth base almost done. That's going to help out a lot. Looks like he's been rebuilding this army. It looks pretty scary. 3-3. I would even start the shield upgrades, because why the heck not? You have the money, and your forges aren't doing anything. Lots of energy saved up on these Nexus, whatever. Needs to be putting that into tech, putting that into Colossus, even corner boosting warp gates right now, because right now he just needs to max and kill. He could even go for the win right now if he wanted to, if he uses his warp prism as a forward pylon, which hopefully he decides to do. But 3 Colossus now, that's great. Looks like Finale's decided to steer away from the sentries for hallucination, because Steezee already knows, but I feel like if he were to hallucinate a bunch more Colossus, that might help, because it's actually totally possible for Finale to have Colossus right now, because this warp prism, this observer hasn't moved like all game. But it does, it ends up being in a good spot, because it spots this Dark Shrine, and hopefully Steezee prepares himself for the DTs, and hopefully Finale decides to use these for Archons, because that would be a little bit better, because Steezee does have detection, does have observers. I don't think I see an observer in his army, do I? Ooh, this High Templar looks so cool. Looks like he is going to be morphing 1 Archon, and he researched Storm, just in case. But a bunch of High Templar are warping in right now. Let's see how many Archons he ends up making. All of them Archons. So I guess didn't really need Storm, did ya? Nope. All right. This fourth base is, whoa. He plays on a Mac. What a noob. Anyways, let's go back to my screen. Okay, that was embarrassing. Need to confine my mouse cursor again. Anyways, what was I saying before I? Oh, looks like a lot of sentries going to be coming out for Finale. To be honest, I would stray away with the size of this army. If he's really pushing out in the middle of the map, hoping to attack, I would save these for force fields. So a few good force fields could prevent these Archons and these Stalkers from even attacking, and that would help him out more than hallucination would, because Steezee's already prepared for a hallucinated army. But looks like DT harass going to be going on at Steezee's fourth base. Going to be warping in a bunch more DTs, hopefully, in this base. But as I said before, he totally has detection. Going to be roasting away those DTs. But looks like this DT, this master DT with 15 kills, 16, 17, 18, and gonna be 19 kills. 31 workers killed and 26 for Steezee. Looks like deciding not to pull his probes off the line, and now his fourth base might even go down. I don't think his army's going to be able to get there in time. Let's see. These three Colossus most likely going to be able to roast these DTs before they end up... Oh, nope. The Nexus will fall. That's a great little snag there from Finale. Chopsticks preparing his mind for the game between me and him. I'm so bad, guys. Don't talk crap. Looks like they were talking crap because he's so bad, but he's really not. I'm actually... well, I was. It's already happened, but I was a little bit nervous for our games because he's a good player. But looks like the final battle going to be taking place. All these hallucinated Colossi come out. Steezee says, I know they're totally hallucinated. Actually, no, he does end up focusing them down. And that ends up helping Finale a little bit, but it's all worthless in the end because Steezee steamrolls over Finale. In the second game, GG is called from Finale, and Steezee has won this first best of 3 between him and Finale. Now we move on to myself versus aka Chopsticks. He hasn't. AK is not in his name. He hasn't decided on a AKA name yet, but nonetheless, we are going to be going head to head, and I'm excited to cast it for you guys. So let's see if I can actually stop this screen recording right this time. Yes.